This conference will now be recorded. This conference will now be recorded.
Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. Good afternoon, everyone. I hope all are doing well. I am Anita from ECD. Welcome you all for this wonderful webinar on wireless communication. If the only prayer you said was thank you, that would be enough. Now I call upon Ajay and Akash.
Today's Bible reading is taken from the book of Proverbs, chapter 4, verses 6 and 7. Do not forsake wisdom, and she will protect you. Love her, and she will watch over you. Wisdom is supreme, therefore get wisdom. Though it cost all you have, get understanding. This is the word of the Lord. Thanks be to God. Over to you, Akash.
Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Over to you, Anita.
Thank you, Ajay and Akash. We would like to extend a special welcome to the speaker of the day. Now I call upon Ms. Jeevita to deliver the welcome address. Over to you, Jeevita.
Thank you, Anita. Good afternoon to everyone gathered here. I hope everyone is safe and doing good. It's my pleasure to extend a cheerful welcome to you all, and on behalf of Loyola Institute of Technology, Management, Administrator, Principal, Vice Principal, and HOD of EC Department, we wholeheartedly welcome all the participants for this webinar. On behalf of the department, we, the student coordinators, welcome our speaker of today's session, Mr. Riyasuddin, teaching faculty in College of Engineering, Gindi, Chennai. It's my pleasure to extend a cheerful welcome to you, sir. Your presence makes us very happy. I am sure we will be enriched by this webinar on wireless communication. Thank you, sir, for accepting our invitation even in your busy schedule. We welcome you wholeheartedly for this webinar. In this context, I congratulate all the coordinators of this webinar, faculty members of EC department, and professional friends to make this happen. Dear participants, once again I welcome you all for this wonderful technical day. Thank you. Over to you, Anita.
Thank you, Jeevita. Now I request Ms. Lalita of EC Department to introduce our speaker. Over to you, Lalita.
Thank you, Anita. A warm welcome to one and all present here. I am Lalita, and it gives me an immense pleasure to introduce our speaker, Mr. Riyasuddin, a teaching fellow in the Department of Information Science and Technology, College of Engineering, Gindi, Anna University, Chennai. He pursued his UG in SMK, Farmra Institute of Technology, and graduated ME in Computer Science Engineering in Sri Sasta Institute of Technology. He has worked as an assistant professor in Dhanalakshmi Srinivasan College of Engineering for 3 years. He is enriched with computer networks, operating systems, mobile computing, and service-oriented architecture with over 9 years of experience. He is very much interested in wireless network and ad hoc networks. He also published two international journals like Advanced Backup Routing Scheme for MANETs and a survey on backup routing scheme for MANETs. And he has a publication record of 15 papers in journals to repute. And he also does research guidance and presented 8 to 9 programs, organized and attended programs based on computer networks. And now he is with us to make the session more interesting. We heartily welcome you, sir.
Thank you, Ma.
Thank you, Lalita. The most awaited session of the day. Let us go to enhance our knowledge in wireless communication. I request Mr. Riasuddin to take us in the journey. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Ma. Thank you for your wonderful invitation and honors. And myself, Riyazuddin. I'm introducing myself to all. I'm myself, Riyazuddin. I'm working as a teaching faculty in Anna University Information Science and Technology campus. I'm around 5.5 years. I'm working as a teaching faculty in CEG campus, and I have a past experience of 4 years around in Dhanalakshmi Srinivasan College. So totally around 9 years I have experience. I'm also a research co-assistant in our Information Science and Technology department of IST. I'm going to finish my PhD in the area of wireless networks. So I have published in almost 3 to 4 journals and many conferences I have attended. And I have organized many programs of webinars and seminars in our institute. And currently I'm also working in the autonomous ground vehicle UAV and also communicating this both wireless technology with the UAV and also merging the technology of deep learning and 5G technology to the UAVs. So that is the current research we are doing in our department. And also I'm currently taking the mobile communication for my UG BTech IT sixth semester students currently. So I have taken times and my area of interest is networks, wireless networks especially. So as per your invitation, I'm today going to present the topic of wireless communication. In the wireless communication, especially we are going to take about the cellular communication because still we are in enhancing the lot of new views in the cellular communication. So I'm going to give you some clarity about that. And also, if time permits, I'll go with that multiple access technique also. Shall I share the screen?
Yes, sir, I have made your expression.
Yes, ma'am. Screen is viewable, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So start now. First of all, cellular fundamentals. Deeply about I think your syllabus is framed with the cellular fundamentals, cellular communication in the second unit. With this both of cellular concepts, reusing the signal, fading the signal, everything will be there. So I'm just going to start with the cellular fundamentals and we'll go with that what is communication is needed. Okay. So what is the roadmap of your today's session? So one is evolution of cellular communication from start, which point to where we are now. That is the first part we are going to explain. Then how the system is generated. So how the cellular system is moved from the older technology to modern technology, how it is converted, that is discussed. My voice is audible, ma'am? Any problem in that? Voice audible? Okay. Thank you. So then cellular concept, what are the core part of the cellular things that is going to we have discussed here, and how the channel is assigned to all the range of multiple users to connect, that is going to be taken, and how you can increase the capacity of the cells. So that is we are going to discuss today in the session. So first of all, evolution of cellular communication. Initially, the radio communication was invented by Nikola Tesla and Marconi in 1893. Okay, so Nikola Tesla made the first public demonstration of wireless radio telegraphy. The telegraphy is the first image you can see. So this is the initial of wireless telegraphy, that is not as a wireless phone. So they are using just a copper to receive that signals, and I'm going to generate as a receiver. They can generate it with the initial stage. Okay, so it is invented in 1893 to 1897. They are. So next, 1940 only we are getting a walkie-talkie that is used by the US military. So you all know about the walkie-talkie. It is not a two-way communication. It is not a full duplex communication. It is a half duplex communication. It is one way you can send a signal, one way you cannot. When the receiver is speaking, you cannot send the signal. So this is invented in 1940 by the US military. So next, in 1947, so John Borden, that is of they are asynchronous of or telephony and telephones, that is they are invented a transistor in the Bell Labs. So it consists of some semiconductor device used to amplify and switching electronic signals. This is an improvement from the walkie-talkie. We are going for the full duplex communication in 1947. So this is generation starting with wireless telegraphy. We are moving to walkie-talkie. From there, I'm going for cordless phone. Now we are using the cell phones, right? So this is evolution. How it is evaluated? So that is we are going to discuss. So first, initially, ATN introduced the commercial radio communication using the car phone. Okay, two-way radio link. That is outside the car, you can see some radio channel. It is going to communicate the car or moving the vehicle using this technology. They are introduced. In 1979, the first commercial cell phone service was launched by the regarding mobile phone in Finland, Sweden, Norway. So only the limited users are started with the cellular communication. Then it is improved by the commercial. Commercially, we have got around 1980s. We got the cellular in our hand. Right. So what you all well know about the cellular communication. First generation. First generation is only voice oriented. First generation is only voice oriented system based on the analog technology. Okay, have you all know about the difference between analog and digital? I think so. So analog, you can communicate for the long distance. Digital, you can go for the short distance. So first invented with the analog technology only. So it is a voice oriented system. Only you can use voice. There is no data, there is no another can't send an SMS, anything. That is not possible there. So only you're going for the voice oriented system. For example, advanced mobile phone system AMPS and cordless system is invented. Okay, so this is what happened in the 1980s. Then we are moving from the first 1G to the 2G. There is a second generation voice oriented system based on digital technology. We are moving from analog to digital. Here only they are inventing the cordless phone. So where from the cordless phone we are going to improve the digital. From the cordless to the receiver, it is going to convert as a digital. And we are acting as the modulation and demodulation we are doing with that particular receiver. So this will more efficient and use less spectrum than the 1G. When you are comparing to 2G, 1G used much spectrum. It is wasting of spectrum. So in 2G it is quite reduced, and we are applying for our commercial use. For example, GSM global service for system service for mobile communication and multiplexing exam. So these are hello, is it viewable, ma? Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hello. Okay.
No, sir, your voice is audible, sir.
Okay, so in 2G we are input audible, ma'am. Okay, thank you. In between some disturbance. Okay, so in second generation we are quite improved from the first 1G, but we are not in lagging of data communication. Only you have to remember that in 2G we are using the GPRS. Okay, we are not going for 3G or 4G. We are going to use only the GPRS pack. It is very slow internet communication. Only we are communicating the World Wide Web, and this type of applications like app, that is and all not used. The mobile phone type also we are using some Symbian OS like that, Java platform Symbian OS. You cannot Android is not invented at the time, So you are communicating with the GPRS packet. It is the cost of the GPRS is very quite high. Only you can browse, you can check your email. It is not comfortable for your streaming of videos or any other audios, or you cannot video chat. This is not possible in the second generation. So still we are having the lagging of communication, and the data used like images, it will be in the KBs, okay, 20 KBs, 30 KBs up to her. This is the much more, and you are not more efficient and comfortable with that. You need some space, okay. So next generation, we are going to the third generation. So that is the high speed voice oriented system integrated with the data service, integrated with the data service. So before, the channels allocated is only for the voice, and GPRS will communicate in separated. But in the third generation, both the general your data communication and your voice communication both integrated. So this will make you more efficient in uh, getting the GPRS, also your 3G communication of high speed. So here they applied the code division multiplexing. So it will give you more at the same time. You will compare, you will merge the audio, video, multimedia data, everything in the same time. So this is the third generation. Third generation around we are getting to India is around 2006, 7, like only we are getting into the India. So but the band of the 3G is compared with the other countries, it is quite low in our Indian side. So this is what happened the third generation, and we are moving from third generation to fourth generation. We are now currently are using the 4G. So the fourth generation is still experimental. We are not we are deployed it, but there is a lot of things, okay. And we are quite unable to move to 5G in India because the band supporting the technology, everything is not in our hand. So it is the entire setup to be changed for 5G moving. So still we are dependent on the 4G communication. You know very well, it is a it is having the high streaming data videos. We are getting a good in the quite cost, we are getting a good data for 1 GB per day or 2 GB per day. We are downloading songs. Nowadays we are completely moving to the streaming of videos. We are always seeing the YouTube, everything will be communicated. But the problem in the 4G is still to be recovered. The problem is energy consumption. See, if you are on your data packet, what happen? Your mobile phone battery will be drained, okay. So you want to increase the capacity of mobile phone, battery of your mobile phone. So still we need of 4000 mAh battery for a normal phone, okay, right? So this is the problem. Still we are having the problem. Another thing, when you are communicating in the cloud, is still is a problem in the 4G, okay. Only the Apple users will use the cloud very frequently. When you're going for the any other phone we are using, the 4G is quite not supporting the cloud features. We are not having the free clouds also. So this type of technologies yet to be, we are in need, okay. So these are kept in the mind in the 4G. They are developing into the fifth generation 5G, okay. Shall I ask one question from you, Varsai? I know it's an open question. Why the 5G is not 5G is not still now implemented in our India? Whether 5G is implemented in the outside India, or that is abroad, they are implemented the 5G. Question is for open for all. Why still now we are not implemented the 5G setup in India? Hello.
சார் ஹலோ
சொல்லுங்க.
சார் ஆக்சுவலி 5G பேண்ட் வந்து நம்ம இந்தியால இன்னும் ப்ரொவைட் பண்ணல சார். அதுக்கான ஆப்ஷன் வந்து இன்னும் கிடைக்கல சார்.
Okay, good.
The band they did not provide it for us. After that only we can start 5G, sir.
Okay. Right. சரி. Bandwidth ஒரு காரணம். I will accept. One is bandwidth. But bandwidth மட்டும்தானா, they will surely get it, because already Reliance Group, that is Jio, is giving a funding agency to develop this bandwidth for, according to our Indian usage. Okay, that is they are started. Okay, so anyhow they are going to get it. If it is a bandwidth, if நம்ம 3G ல இருந்து 4G why we are moving means only because of bandwidth, high speed data communication, that is we are created. Okay, but the problem with the 4G to 5G is not only the bandwidth, okay. Only we are not going to get a more speed, we are not going to get a high speed data. That is not a quite matter here. The entire setup, actually the 5G is designed for green computing. We are going to communicate with the cloud. We are going to not only depend on the base station, that is your cell phone tower. You are going to also depend on the Internet of Things. So entire setup is going to be changed in the 5G Internet of Things. So your device, your smart TV, your smartphone, everything is synchronized with the communication. So one communication for you, for your entire home, is going to be communicate with the all the users. So all the device is going to be act as a IoT. So this is the setup we are going to need in the change of the 5G. Okay, so that's why we are still lagging. That is entire setup. Okay, and your phone, mobile phone also to be changed. Device phone change out. So you are changed on the 4G SIM from 3G, then you are adding the 4G feature to your phone. But in the 5G, the entire phone to be changed. 5G phone, you are to be changed. So this is why still we are in lagging, but it's a lot of research is going on. Another thing, whether have you all anyone buy a phone from abroad? Abroad la irundhu phone vaanging India la use pandringla? Anyone is using the phone from abroad? Are you using here? Abroad and yara vaangi phone use pandringla pa? Anyone is there? No.
I don't think so. I don't think so, sir.
Okay. The problem, you are get the somewhat cheapest phone from the abroad, but the problem enna Indian band support panadu. The problem is that is not the problem is it is won't support the Indian band, because the channel allocated for the Indian band is quite not equal to the other bands. Okay, if you are buying the band, it won't support. So if you are buying the phone, you want to check it whether it will support the Indian band. Okay, enna problem varuna, if you are buying, it will communicate the cell phone tower communicate, but the data pack you cannot activate, so it won't communicate to the band of data pack. So this is what problem we are faced from 3G to 4G. Okay, so when you are invented the LTE network, okay, so that 4G should be global LTE. We have to choose a global LTE for our phone, then only you can use it all over the world, because Indian band will support in one way, US band will support in one way, Arab's phone will support in some other way. So we have to choose a global LTE communication. So these are the futures we are still having in the mind. So we have to generate the 5G in a form. Okay, so now I'm comparing all the thing here, just an overview. So 1G, so 1970 to 1980s, speed is 14.4 kilobytes per second. So the technology is MPS, NMT, TSS. So here only the voice, only the service. Okay, only you are used for voice. So next 2G is invented from 1990 to 2000. So its speed is 9.6 kilobytes to 14.4 kilobytes. So here the TDMA, time division multiplexes, and code division multiplex is added. So here both voice and data services given. So next, quite improvement from the 2G, it is going to for 2.5G. Okay, 2.5G to 2.75G. So only of the bandwidth. So it is around 2001 to 2004. It around the speed of 171.2 kilobytes per second. It is in kilobytes only. So here the data packets are as a GPRS. Okay. So here voice, data, web, mobile internet, low speed streaming, not a high speed streaming. Only we are used a low speed streaming services, email services is provided for you. Only this can be, it's a limited data communication we can done, whatever you are normally user can done. So in 2004 to 2005, it is started with the 3G. It is around 3.1 megabytes. Now only we are changing from kilobytes to megabytes. Okay, so up to 1G to 2.5, it is using the kilobytes per second. So in 3G, we are starting with 500 to 700 kilobytes per second normally, but it will support up to the 3.1 megabytes per second. So it uses the CDMA, code division multiple access with the 2000. So and UMTS and Edge also supported, Edge phone we are called. So here the voice, data, multimedia, support for smartphone application, faster browsing, video calling, TV streaming, all the new features is added to the 3G communication. So after 3G, we are improving from 3.5G, quite increasing the speed. From around 2000 to 2010, they are having these features. So 14.4 megabytes. So here only 3.1 megabytes per second. Here we are going for 14.4, around 15 megabytes per second. So you are having the high speed of 3 Mbps of your mobile phone. Up to 3 Mbps, you can use it. So HSP is added. all the service from 3G network with enhanced speed and more mobility. Mobility is supported here. You are moving from when you are using this 3G, it is quite someone is hello. Okay. So from when you are using the 3G, you are having the problem of mobility. Okay, mobility is when you are moving, the streaming is, for example, when you're traveling the high-speed train or your bus, it is quite not faster to receive the data packets due to this a problem in the 3G. So that is improved here. Okay, so when you are in moving, it is also enhanced speed. So that is we are following that. So after 2010, we are moving to the 4G. 4G is, you know very well, so it's around 100 to 300 megabytes per second, 100 to 300 megabytes per second. And the advanced feature we are using is around you can receive up to the device of 100 Mbps, 100 Mbps speed. That is 4G is not only going to support your mobile phone, it is going to be used as a Wi-Fi. Okay, it is going to be used as a Wi-Fi. You are installing in your home. I hope everyone is installed in your home. Almost they are everyone is using in our home so Wi-Fi. So around 8 to 9 device is connected. Airtel, Jio, everything is providing this facility. Service provider is providing this facility. So you're having 100 Mbps speed. This 100 Mbps speed is shared with your device. So according to the 100 Mbps speed, your device will be activated. The thing is high speed, high quality voice over IP. So you're having high speed, high over IP. So not only your normal voice, it is high clear voice is used in the 4G communication, and high definition multimedia streaming. Now we are watching HD videos in our YouTube. This is possible only in the 4G. If you start with the HD high quality video in your 3G, it is quite slower. You cannot watch. It will be having high streaming. Okay. So when you're going for high streaming videos, 3D games, you will know about you're playing the PUBG and all. Okay, 3D games, voice games. This is only established in the 4G and HTV. Sorry. And high video conferencing. Now we are using WhatsApp call, Gmail call, or you are using Google Meet. This everything is possible only in the thing, and it giving the worldwide roaming. So now you are giving the worldwide roaming. Now you can roam all over the world. Okay. So what is this LTE? LTE means, so here they used as long-term evolution. We call it as LTE, long-term evolution is the advanced feature of your 4G, and we are using Wi-Fi and WiMAX. What do you mean by Wi-Fi? Wireless fidelity. What is this WiMAX, ma? Have you heard about this WiMAX? WiMAX கேள்விப்பட்டிருக்கீங்களா? WiMAX. Wi-Fi நமக்கு எல்லாத்துக்கும் தெரியும். What do you mean by WiMAX? Any idea? No idea. Okay, WiMAX is a forum.
Microwave access, sir.
Okay, it's going for using a microwave access. Okay, have you all visited the airport, Chennai airport or any other airport? Airport visit பண்ணிருக்கீங்களா?
Yes, sir.
What they provided for you? என்ன அங்க எப்படி இருக்கும்? Wi-Fi கொடுத்திருப்பாங்களா? So that is, you are having a free access of Wi-Fi anywhere, right? In the airport, I'm installing this. Instead of installing this Wi-Fi, I'm installing the WiMAX. That is, I don't know how many users will enter into the setup at the time. I don't know, right? So airport குள்ள எவ்வளவு பேர் at a time ல வருவாங்கன்னு எனக்கு தெரியாது. So at the time, I cannot limit the user with the Wi-Fi communication. So it will be given as a WiMAX. It is a forum of a wireless broadband communication based on IEEE 802.16. So இந்த மாதிரி number of users அதிகமா இருக்கிற இடத்துல they'll go for this WiMAX communication. Okay, so then these are the improvement have done in the 4G. Now we are moving to the 5th generation 5G. Expecting the end of 2019 we started, but still now we are not implemented in India. There is a problem of buying the bandwidth, one thing. and the setup is going to be changed. The expecting of 5G speed is 1 to 10 gigabytes per second. We are going to use the gigabytes per second. So your 4G phone is not going to support for the 5G bandwidth. Your 4G phone is not going to support this 5G. You are going to buy a new phone because the speed you are going to receive is 1 to 10 gigabytes. The antenna is changed from directional antenna to proportional antenna, so it is going to be the setup of antenna is also going to be changed in your phone, and it having the LTE advanced scheme and OMA. These are the then it is going to be the improvement of your 5G. So it is a super fast mobile internet, low latency information critical application. The main thing is Internet of Things is going to be here, and security and surveillance. Surveillance is you are going to your every moment of your mobile phone is going to be monitored, right? இப்போ நம்ம FASTag யூஸ் பண்றோம்ல, nowadays without FASTag you cannot go to the toll gate, the cash is not available. So அது மாதிரி everything will be monitored by you. So இப்போ நீங்க எங்க போறீங்க எல்லா information everything will be monitored, and this will be surveillance to the report where you are moving. Okay, so it is the advantage of using the 5G. And high definition multimedia streaming, autonomous driving, that is we are going for the autonomous vehicles, automation of driving. So cars, everything will be connected to the cloud environment. Every storage will be connected to the cloud environment. And smart health application, everything is going to be connected to the wearable commuting, your smartwatch, reading the patient information, health report, everything will be merged. So the 5G is the setup of the large values and of all the communication into a one point. So that's why it's quite late. Okay, so I hope you have got something new about this 5G. Okay, now I'll go into the core of concept. One is first of all, when you are using the cellular communication, it is a frequency reuse. So the method used by the service providers to improve the efficiency of cellular communication. So millions of subscribers using a limited radio spectrum. The transmitter transmitting in a specific frequency range will have only a limited coverage area. Beyond this coverage area, the frequency can be reused by another transmitter. Okay, so first of all, the cellular communication is based on the cells. What is this cells? The entire network coverage area is divided into a cells based on the principle of frequency reuse. If your cell phone tower is there, around the cell phone tower there is a range is covering, that is we call it as a cell. So a cell is a basic geographical unit of a cellular communication. It is a some structure. Actually it is we call it as a hexagonal shape. Hexagonal shape solvanga, but it's not a hexagon, it is a irregular shape only. Hexagonal solvanga, but it is not a hexagonal, it is a irregular shape only. So the area around an antenna with a specific frequency range is used. Okay, when a subscriber moves to another cell, the antenna of the new cell take over the signal transmission. We call it as a handover process. So when you are moving from one signal to another cell, it is we call it as a thing. So I'll show this is the cell. So if one cell phone tower, this range we call, actually they are represented as a hexagonal, it is not a hexagonal, it will be a irregular shape only. But this mobile phone is now working in the cell phone tower in this particular cell range. Now he can move to the next cell when he has not occupying this space. Now it is to be added to here. So this we call as a handover process. So this group of cells, around 7 cells are there. So this is we call as a cluster. Cluster is a group of adjacent cells, usually 7 cells. No frequency reuse is done within a cluster. So the frequency spectrum is divided into subbands, and each subband is used in one cell of the cluster. So any one frequency is using by the cell phone at the time, that cell only going to be activated, that's all going to provide the service. So others not, it won't get the service from the other cells. So in heavy traffic zones, cells are smaller, while in isolated zones, cells are larger. Okay, that is we need to in our urban area, right, city places, we are not going to get a only one cell phone tower for all over the area. For example, if you are putting a cell phone tower in Adyar, next to street you need to put it Adyar because the number of user is high. Okay, number of user is high, so I want to install another cell phone tower near to me. So that coverage of cells is not enough. So likewise in the urban area we are installing more towers and cell phone for each street we are getting. But in a village, rural areas, one tower is enough for a entire communication. it will around 3 kilometers to 5 kilometers, it is going to be communicated all over the range. So the cell size will be larger. Okay, so when your traffic is high, you want to install more cells, that is more cell phone tower to be installed there, right? So this is what so this is a cell cluster, the frequency spectrum. It is varying of cells from 100 megahertz to 700 megahertz, each cell having its own megahertz. Okay, so sometimes you're having a poor tower, when you're entering into this another range, it will having high quality. So these all happen with the cells only. Types of cells. So one is macro cell, micro cell, picocell. Macro cell is coverage is large, approximately 6 miles in a diameter, used in remote area, high power transmitter, receiver are used here. So mostly it is going to be given in a village around you, or 4 to 5 village cover pandra mari or cell phone tower they're using with the macro cell. So that is enough for your coverage, approximately 6 miles. Micro cell, the coverage is small, half a mile in diameter, and used in urban zones. So in your city places, we are going for the choosing the micro cells. Okay, so it is a low power transmitter, and receivers are used to avoid interference with cell in another cluster. So micro cell is mostly involved in a urban area. So every half a kilometer, we are going to put a micro cell. And picocell is a coverage area such as building or a tunnel. It is only for the particular organization. For organization, they are for Infosys need a cell phone tower. So at the time they go for the picocell. It's not going to a kilometer. It covering is a small range, but the number of user will be high. For example, in our Infosys, there is around 2000 employees will be there. For this 2000 employee, I want to provide a macro cell, but I will go with the picocell because it is only for my organization. So this can be helping for this purpose. So macro cell, micro cell, picocell, different types of cells. So what are the, you know well about the cellular services, voice communication, short message service, multimedia messaging service, MMS, global positioning system, GPS, wireless application protocol, web. This is going to be accessed to your internet. So these are the basic cellular service starting for communication. Now we are improving to high speed, high streaming, high speed internet, voice communication, video chatting, conferencing the video. Now the technology is improved. We are communicating your smartphone, you are communicating a smart TV or to your device. So everything will be happen with this improvement. So these are cellular communication components. Normally you are using your mobile phone. That mobile phone is communication to your BTS, base transfer subsystem. So your BTS is nothing but your nearby cell phone tower. So your mobile phone or mobile station, that mobile phone is going to communicate with the BTS only. So from the BTS, there is multiple BTS will be there. If this mobile phone is communicating with this BTS, like this another one to another one, it is going on. But for more than one BTS, I'm going to communicate with the BSC, base station controller. So this base station control going to control this BTS for transfer of mobile data or mobile signals to the cell phone. So after receiving this base station, BSC controller is going to communicate with the MSC. MSC is your mobile switching setup. For example, this is your individual user. This is your nearby cell phone tower. Half a kilometer another cell phone tower. Half a kilometer another cell phone tower. For both half a cell phone tower, there is one base station controller common for both BTS. This base station controller is going for MSC, mobile switching station. Okay, mobile switching station. So when your mobile switching station is, for example, this is putting one mobile switching station for North Chennai, or putting for South Chennai, or putting for urban Chennai, right? Central Chennai, like that. So this all the BSC is going to communicate with the MSC for all the one. So once if you are getting a call, you are connected to the BTS through the BSC, I'm going to reach the MSC. From here, I will hand over to the if you are a friend is working here, for example, you're calling here to here, it will be communicated like here to your BTS to a BSC controller, go to the MSC and go to this BTS and communicating. If you are now your friend is not available in the mobile switching center, it is going to be in next mobile switching center, then this will be exchanging of your signals. So right now you are going to communicate that particular I'm going to use. So this is how happen is using this two register. One is home location register, another one is visitor location register, VLR. So how by the home location register is where you are there, that will be identified your information about your communication. When you are moving, I want to identify using this visitor location register, VLR. Okay, so this is the overall setup of your cell phone communication. So BTS is base transceiver station. This is the main component of a cell. We connect to the subscriber to the cellular network. That is your mobile phone. BSC is base station controller. It is an interface between BTS and to another BTS, or going to the microwave links between the mobile switching center. So this mobile switching center, coordinator of all the cell phone network, connected to the several BSC. It routes call between the BSC to the next. Also from the mobile switching center, I can communicate to the PSTN, public switch telephone network. That is, you can call your mobile phone to your landline. Am I right? When you are interested to call from your mobile phone to your home landline, this method will be used. So from your mobile switching center, it will connect to the PSTN, public switch telephone network, fixed network. That is your telephone. So this is what possible. Okay. So these are components of your normal cell phone. So radio transceiver, low power radio transmitter and receiver, antennas usually located inside the phone, control circuitry inside your phone, that is format the data sent to any other from BTS, control signal transmission and reception, and man-made interface. This is your normal, your mobile phone, tablet, yeah, any other small device what you are using, smartwatch, that and all application as an interface. And you are using a SIM, subscriber identity module, integrated circuit card that store the identity information of the subscriber. And you're using a battery. Normally you are using a usually Li-ion battery, and power of your phone, that is dependent on phone. Nowadays we are using the megahertz phone, around 4000 megahertz. Now we are choosing a phone, we are also looking for the battery size, battery capacity, 4000 mAh, 5000 mAh. So each brand will making a high capacity of batteries is allowed now. So now the factor of that is calculating the cells for your communication. The factor of n is called the cluster size, and is seven cells. If you're communicating with a cluster, that will be calculated by this given. So your n value of the cluster is I square plus ij of your plus I square. That is of your hexagonal of all the length will be communicated for the one communication cluster. But I don't need of all the thing at the time of point of view. I need only 1 or 2, 3 cluster. That can be also allowed by this point. So this is the grouping of your cluster of cell communication. So to find the some students are asking queries. Shall I answer at the last point?
Yes, sir. You can answer in the end, sir, not now.
Okay.
Continue with the
Please hold your questions. I will ask you because we are having a question session also. Okay. So to find the nearest co-channel neighbor of particular cell, one must do the following: move I cells along any chain of hexagon, and then turn the 60-degree counter clockwise and move J cells. So this is for to find the nearest co-cell of neighbor particular cell or one or more cell. So then, for example, if you are here, you are communicating all the cells. If you are not nearing communicating, what are the cells are adjacent to this, that will be taken as a count. So this are the 7 cells I'm communicating to my particular point. So that is going to be calculated. So I equal to my initial point, the j equal to 2. So I may calculate 1 plus 2 plus 4. So totally 7 cells which is needed for my communication. So this is way we are communicating all the cells to my particular point. So this interference is calculated by the co-channel reuse ratio. So that is the co-channel reuse ratio is the distance between center of nearest co-channel by the radius of the cell. By the radius of cell will be some meters, right? So that radius of the cell will be proportional to the distance. So distance between the center of nearest co-channel cell divided by the radius of the cell. So it is normally with the root of 3n. So now normally when you are going for setting a call process, so when powered on, the phone does not have a frequency time slot assigned to it, so it can scan the control channel of the BTS and pick the strongest when you are calling the phone. So when you are powered on, the phone does not have a frequency time slot assigned to it, so it scans the control channel of BTS, pick the strongest signal. That is normally happen with your cell phone, right? So when you're on your phone, when you are power on your phone, it will search scan for the nearby phone. Actually, you will receive multiple. For example, I'm a service user of Airtel or Jio. My nearby multiple Jio will be there, right? In a city place, you will find multiple Jio will be there. So it will scan all the thing. Not only Jio, your mobile phone will scan all the Airtel, everything. But as per your SIM, as per your service provider subscriber and SIM, you will be able to access only the Airtel or Jio. So that is it will find the strongest signal. For example, it will show you Airtel Thiruvanmiyur, Airtel area, Airtel when you are in midpoint, which is strongest signal that will be chosen by your call at the time of calling. Okay. So then it send a message, include the identification number to the BTS, indicate its present. The BTS sends an acknowledgement message back to the cell phone. The phone then register with the BTS and inform the BTS to its exact location. I'm working in the particular point of, I'm working Thiruvanmiyur. I'm in Anna University, Chennai. I'm near to the Chembrambakam. So which is my particular point that will be located by the BTS. After the phone is registered to the BTS assign a channel to the phone and phone is ready to receive or make call. So before make a call, this process should be run in the between the mobile phone and the BTS. Okay, that I told. So this will be happen between the BTS and your mobile phone when you are making a call. Okay. So next, make a call. Now only you are going to make a call. So the subscriber dials the receiver number and send it to the BTS. The BTS send it to the BSC base station controller ID. The location and number of the caller, also the number of the receiver will be added. So then the BSC forward the information to the mobile switching center. Okay. The mobile switching center route the call to the receiver. Route here only we are going for routing. Routing means finding. I don't know in which mobile switching center you are working. You are coming under which BSC BTS in your mobile switching center. So from the mobile switching center, I will know that information with your VLR, visiting location register and HLR. I'll find you now currently which mobile switching center you are under the BTS, that will be identified and it is going to be forward the call. So mobile switching router routes the call to the receiver, MSC which is sent to the receiver BSC, and then it's to the particular BTS. I will connect to the cell phone. So the communication of the receiver cell phone is now established. So it will be start from MSC to the BSC, BSC to the BTS. I will communicating you. Okay. So receiving a call, making a call, this follow. What about the receiving call? You are working in a mobile station. That's all. When the receiver phone is in ideal state, it is listen for the control channel of BTS. Okay. Okay. If there is an incoming call, the BSC and BTS send a message to the cell in the area where the receiver phone is located. Okay, so where you are actually working, that will be identified with the help of information of your visitor location register. That information is getted from the mobile switching center. Now I'm going to find you and I'm going to connect you. Find and connect you. That is what happened. The phone monitors its message and compare the number of messages with the phone. So if the number of messages the cell phone sends an acknowledgement to the BTS. After authentication, the communication is established between the caller and the receiver. So finally, I will find you are working there in the BTS. I will acknowledge you. I will send you. You want to acknowledge to the BTS. Then I will communicate to you with the call. So this is what happened in the calling. Okay, right. Ma'am.
Tell me, sir.
Time irka? Shall I go with
இருக்கு sir.
இல்ல multiple access எடுக்கலாமா? அதுவும் பெரிய டாபிக்.
இல்ல இது you can continue. Steffi ma'am, what is your opinion?
Steffi ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. Sir, you can continue with it. Yes, sir, you can continue. Yes, sir.
Okay. Right.
Third year,
no topic we are in need of multiple channel accessing. That also there. If I'm going depth in this topic, I want to cover the channel allocation, reuse, everything will to be communicated. Cover panam. Okay, ma'am. I'll
Steffi?
continue.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Sir is asking whether to continue or not. You answered him. He can go in this
Yes,
itself depth, no?
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Because these they are having in this syllabus, ma'am, in second unit. All these
Okay,
things, channel allocation, all third years are having, ma'am.
okay, sir.
Okay.
Sir, you can go in this itself.
Okay, thank you. So when we are going for the channel allocation, especially in traffic channel allocation, how I want to allocate the channel for the user, so that to be fine. So what is channel allocation? Give radio spectrum is divided into a set of disjoint channel that can be used simultaneously while minimizing the interference. In adjacent channel, what do you mean by interference? First of all, what do you mean by interference? Interference is I cannot communicate. The signal is available fully, but I cannot communicate to a call. I cannot go to the call. The reason is interference. So you are inside a building, you are inside a remote area, you are inside the mountain, right? Inside the hilly area, hills lurking. What happened? Even you are receiving the signal, the signal, the cell phone tower is installed with a macro cell, but you are not receiving the signal because your space is covered by some interference. So how I'm going to allocate the channel for this interference, so that we are going to discuss now. So given radio spectrum is divided into a set of disjoint channel that can be used simultaneously while minimizing the interference in adjacent channel by allocating the channels appropriately, especially for traffic channel. Channel allocation schemes can be divided into three types. One is fixed channel allocation, we call as FCA scheme, dynamic channel allocation, DCA scheme, hybrid channel allocation, HCA scheme. Fixed channel allocation, dynamic channel allocation, hybrid channel allocation. Okay. Fixed, in the name itself you can understand, fixed means it is a static. I have allocated this cell is only for this purpose. You are going to use this fixed channel for your only purpose. For your this type of user will be used this cells. Okay, there is a fixed. Dynamic channel is, it will be due to the mobility, it will be changed. So whether you will use one channel or going to use multiple channel, or you are going to use more than one channel according to your need. So it is changing for the mobility, right? According to the mobility. So that we are supporting this dynamic channel allocation also. Hybrid is both the combination of fixed and dynamic. This is normally used with the border. Okay, so when I need it, I'll go with this channel. Otherwise, if not going to use with the channel. For example, the people's living in the border area, Tamil Nadu, Andhra borderல இருப்பாங்கல்ல, அவங்களுக்கு என்ன டவர் ஒர்க் ஆகும்? தமிழ்நாடு, கேரளா அந்த பார்டர்ல இருக்காங்கல்ல, how they will face the issue, எப்படி சால்வ் பண்ணுவாங்க? அவங்க தமிழ்நாட்டுக்குள்ள இருப்பாங்க, but they will receiving the Kerala tower also. What can we do? How I can give the service to them? Any idea? அவங்க எந்த சேனல் யூஸ் பண்ணணும், என்ன பண்ணுவாங்க? யாரா இருக்கீங்களா? இங்க பார்டர்ல இருக்கீங்களா? தமிழ்நாடுல இருப்பீங்க, பட் அவுட் சைட் தட் பார்டர் அங்க இருந்து சிக்னல் உங்களுக்கு ரிசீவ் ஆகும். Yes, if you are in the border, you are being roaming, right? So at the time I will avoid, enna panna solution, I will avoid it. Only that you want to be dependent on the next country, next state oda provision la da neenga irpinga. You are enter into the roaming. Okay, so this is mostly happen. So when you're entering, you will receive, you are in the roaming, you are entering into the state, you are getting the roaming. So mostly the people's living near to the border, they'll go for that. But when you are allocating the at the time, I cannot go with the automation, I'll go with the manual selection of your tower. I can use it, I'll scan it manually, I'll choose I need this Indian as a Airtel of Tamil Nadu. If you are choosing that, signal will be only you are going to receive. So other channel interference cannot be happen. So this is possible with this all the channel, this is possible with this channel allocation. Okay, so fixed channel allocation, dynamic channel allocation, hybrid channel allocation, or we are going to discuss now. So fixed channel allocation in FCA scheme, a set of channel is permanently allocated to each cell in the network. If the total number of available channel in the system is divided into sets, minimum number of channel sets and required to serve the entire coverage area, or it is related to the frequency use distance. So it is normally calculated in the n equal to d square by 3r square. So the total distance covered by you, that is you are going to reuse the frequency by this number of radius you are covering. Okay, so due to the short term fluctuation in the traffic, FCA schemes are often not able to maintain a high quality of service. Okay, capacity attainable with static traffic demands, one approach to address problem, borrow free channel from neighbor cells. இதெல்லாம் நடக்காது. ஃபிக்ஸ்டு சேனல் இப்போ என்ன இதுக்கு வந்து ஜென்ரலாக சொல்லணும்னா இப்போ நீங்கள் மொபைல் ஃபோனில் எடுத்து உங்களோட ஸ்மார்ட் ஃபோனில் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா மொபைல் நெட்வொர்க் இருக்கும். மொபைல் நெட்வொர்க்குள்ளே போயிட்டு வாட் டைப் ஆஃப் டிவைஸ் நீங்கள் என்ன கொடுத்துருப்பீங்கன்னு பார்த்தீங்கன்னா ஆட்டோமேட்டிக்னு கொடுத்துருப்பீங்க. இன் யுவர் ஸ்மார்ட் ஃபோன் யூஆர் கிவன் அஸ் அ ஆட்டோமேட்டிக்னு கொடுத்துருப்பீங்க. பட் யூ கேன் செட் அஸ் அ மேனுவல். இஃப் யூ செலக்ட் it will be start to scanning, nearby எல்லாமே ஸ்கேன் பண்ணி காமிக்கும். in the list you can select anyone. எனக்கு இல்ல இந்தியன் ஏர்டெல் தான் வேணும், இந்தியா ஏர்டெல்னு இருக்கும். நார்மலா இந்தியா ஏர்டெல்னு வரும் பாத்தீங்கன்னா, ஏர்டெல்னு இருக்கும், இந்தியா ஏர்டெல் இருக்கும். அதே மாதிரி ஜியோன்னு இருக்கும், ஜியோலே இந்தியா ஜியோன்னு வரும். so the India Jio is standard for all. okay, if you selecting that will be used. but the problem is when you are moving, நீ ஒரு இடத்துல ஒரு மூவ் பண்றப்ப அந்த இது ஆட்டோமேட்டிக்கா மாறாது. it will be manual. you are fixing to the channel. okay, இந்த ஃபோன் வந்து எனக்கு வீட்டில் மட்டும்தான் இருக்கும், ஆனால் எனக்கு ஃபுல் சிக்னல்ல இருக்கணும் அப்படின்னு நினைச்சீங்கன்னா யூ கேன் புட் as a manual. you scan it and take as a manual. this is fixed. ஏன்னா உங்க வீட்டு பக்கத்துல this cell phone tower is there, that channel only going to be used now, you can fix it. okay, so this is what possible. but if you are fixing, but if you are moving to some other place, you will lost a full signal போயிடும். you are not going to communicate with the tower. okay, so this is we call as a fixed channel allocation. next one is here it is simple browsing, that is scheme. what I told, that is you are going to see the thing in your smartphone. அதான் இங்க சொல்லிருக்காங்க. dynamic channel allocation, this is normally we are using in a smartphone or any phone. automation, right? so in DCA schemes, all channels are kept in central pool and here assigned dynamically to the new cell as they arrive in the system. நீங்க எப்பலாம் மூவ் பண்றீங்களோ, எப்பலாம் அந்த சிக்னல் என்னோட when I am receiving to my phone, at the time I will boost up with the signal. I'll choose which is best. Rendu signal, if I'm getting more than one signal which is having the high strength, that I will go. okay, I'm a central point of Adyar and Thiruvanmiyur. I'm receiving all the both the tower, but according to the radius I'm getting more strength of your Adyar tower, you'll go with the Adyar, you will leave the Thiruvanmiyur. simple. okay, so this is what of dynamic channel allocation. so after each call is completed, the channel is returned to the central pool. okay, so finally you will return to that. So it is fairly straightforward to select the most appropriate channel for any call based on simply our current allocation and current traffic with aim of minimizing the interference. okay, so உனக்கு எது which is giving more signal strength, that is less interference. that's all. which is having more signal strength, that is less interference. so you will go with that. okay, so this DCA scheme can overcome the problem of FCA scheme. yeah, you are not going to fix it. However, the various and DCA schemes are centered around the different cost function used for selecting one of the candidate channel for assignment. okay, so this is the dynamic channel allocation. so this can be a centralized or distributed. mostly we are going to use the distributed one, but in centralized scheme involve a single controller selecting channel for each cell. Distributed scheme involve number of controls scattered across the network. you will move with the multiple MSCs, mobile switching center. okay, so they're comparing this both FC and DCA. so performs better under heavy traffic, DCA perform better under light or moderate traffic, because you are fixing means there is no traffic, you are allocated to the particular point, அவங்கள்ட்ட தான் உங்களுக்கு resource வரப்போகுது. so here it's not like that. you are moving, it going to be light traffic, it will be good perform. low flexibility in channel assignment, flexible channel allocation, you can move to anyone. it is here there is no flexibility will be provided. maximum channel reusability is allowed, not always maximum channel reusability allowed. okay, it is always sensitive to time and spatial changes. time is you are proportional to time only, you are moving, right? Spatial means if your capacity is increasing, that's not a problem, you will be normally with the fixed network only. okay, it is insensitive to time and time spatial changes, and not stable grade of service per cell in interference cell group, stable grade of service per cell in an interference cell group. High forced call termination probability, it is low to moderate forced call termination probability. இங்க வந்து not that. okay, suitable for large cell environment, suitable for micro cell environment, low flexibility, high flexibility. so these are the comparison between the FC and DC. then what are the other channel allocations also available? okay, based on the before FC and DCA, there is based on different criteria being used as a potential way of optimizing performance. Many other channel allocation schemes are also suggested. One is hybrid channel allocation, HCA, and flexible channel allocation, HCA, right? What is this HCA and flexible? HCA schemes are combined of both FCA and DCA that I told what you are choosing in the border like that, okay, example. So in HCA scheme, the total number of channels available for the service is divided into fixed and dynamic sets, both fixed and also dynamic sets. The fixed set contain a number of nominal channels that are assigned to the cell in the FCA scheme, and in all cases are to be preferred to use in their respective cells. But in the dynamic set is shared by all users in the system to increase the flexibility. Okay. So example, when a call requires service from a cell and all of its nominal channels are busy, the channel from dynamic set is if you fix you are fixed to one tower, but your all channels are busy. At that time, I can use with the other channels. Okay. Here one thing I want to clear it. Have you all using the service number use பண்றீங்களா 100 police station, 100, 101, 108, 103, I think so. Have you all tried the number? Have you all tried number? The number try பண்ணிருப்பீங்கன்னு நினைக்கிறேன். For this communication 100, 102, 108, will you need a cell phone tower? Will you need a cell phone signal to your phone? உங்க போனுக்கு வந்து cell phone signal வேணுமா? SIM card இருக்கணுமா? We call it as an emergency call னு சொல்லுவோம். In your mobile phone we call it as an emergency call. Whether you are needing of a cell phone signal?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Yeah. The reason is of this hybrid channel allocation. Actually, your mobile phone is of hybrid channel allocation. Without SIM card, you can communicate to the emergency number like 108, 102 because you are not a Airtel user, you are not a Jio user. That is not. You are under the government. You are under this Tamil Nadu government. So I only provided to the Airtel and Airtel like that. Okay, Jio. So you are a user of you are a registered user of Tamil Nadu. So at the time your cell phone will be communicate to the nearby cell phone channel, which is quite strength. Quite strength that will be allocated. So with the channel I can go to connect to that control room like 108, 102, 100. So that's why this emergency call is probably without the fixed or dynamic going with the hybrid channel allocation. Okay. So the request for channel from dynamic set is initiated only when the cells is exactly using its channel from the fixed set. Okay. So it always optimal ratio of number fixed and dynamic channel. It is 3:1 fixed, 3% fixed and 1% to dynamic. When you're having the traffic, it will go to the dynamic. So provides better service than fixed scheme for 50% traffic. So beyond 50% fixed scheme perform better. Okay. So for dynamic with the traffic load of 15%, 32%, best result are found in the HCA hybrid channel allocation. So next one is flexible channel allocation FCA. This is similar to hybrid scheme with channels divided into fixed or flexible emergency sets. Okay, it is similar to hybrid scheme only, but it is going to be fixed for hybrid. So fixed set used to handle a lighter load, variation in traffic, peaks in time and space are need to schedule emergency channels. Okay, two types of schedules, schedule and predictive schedule. Prior estimate done by the traffic change. Okay, predictive is traffic intensity and blocking probability is monitoring. Okay, example, if sudden or protest start ஆயிடுச்சு, when you are normal cell phone setup is there, suddenly a protest is started. ஏதோ ஒரு protest நடக்குது, விவசாயமோ your farmers or any other protest like that, suddenly a protest is started. At the time the number of crowd will be to the particular place. Okay, towards the Chennai, towards the governor Mali like that. Okay, number of users, number of subscribers is adding to the cell phone tower. At the time I cannot go with the fixed or dynamic or hybrid. I'll go for the flexible channel. Okay, because you know very well Delhi protest, they didn't actually, I have designed the cell phone tower. This is number of users. I'm going to communicate the number of time or 50,000 users may be possible, but suddenly 5 lakhs of people is adhering there, right? 5 lakhs of people are coming there and they are everyone trying to access the cell phone tower. What happened? This having of cell phone traffic, this will create a traffic. So at the time I'll go with the flexible channel allocation. Okay, So this traffic intensity and blocking probability is monitored each cell time. So I'm improving the efficiency of the tower and channel capacity more to the particular place. It will increase the, it will helps to communicate the number of user for this. Okay. So increasing capacity by adding new channels, not channel used to start with. Frequency will be borrowing taken from adjacent cell by congested cells or assigned frequency dynamically. On the place nearby cells, I can take the frequency and cell splitting. So non-uniform topography and traffic distribution use small cells in high use areas. Okay. So this is of increasing the capacity of the particular channel is possible, right? So cell splitting, see here. So now the crowd is here. For example, at the time these trees are adjacent, this frequency are borrowed and combined to this particular place for this entire usage. This is we call as a cell splitting. Okay. So increasing the capacity is cell sectoring. Cell divided into wedge shaped sectors, that is 3 to 6 cell. This is the wedges. Okay. So cell divided into wedges shape sector 3 to 6 per cell, each with own channel set, it having the directional antenna. So microcell move antennas from tops of hills and large buildings on tops of small building and side of large building. So this can be happen. Okay. So when you're using a microcell, we can increase the capacity. Use reduced power to cover a much smaller area. Good for city streets, roads, inside the large building. This setup will be helping you for communication. Okay. Okay, I'll stop up here this topic. Ma'am.
Yeah, sir. Tell me, sir.
Shall I move to that topic?
Yeah, Stefima. Yeah, you can go, sir. You are very interesting. We are all listening to you.
Oh, thank you.
Very interesting, sir. So everyone is noting down.
Okay, ma'am. Right.
Okay.
இல்ல இந்த டாபிக் இன்னும் போலாம் முடிய போகுது பட்
anyhow you finish this full அந்த இது இந்த செல்லுலார் நெட்வொர்க்ஸ் ஃபுல்லா முடிச்சிடுங்க சார் வேணா.
ஓகே மேம். இல்ல ஆல்மோஸ்ட் டைப்ஸ் முடிச்சாச்சு.
ஓகே.
இல்ல 4 o'clock வரை எனக்கு கொடுத்திருந்தீங்கல 4 o'clock தாண்டியாச்சு.
No problem sir, you can extend. That is not the thing. Issue is not there.
Okay. Okay, so now the thing which is going to reduce the reduce your signal strength, wasting of your channel allocation, challenging factor of implementing the cell phone tower in the particular place. So these all we are going to discuss here now. The mobile radio propagation effect, what will be happen, especially you are all well about that. நீங்க phone பேசிட்டு இருக்கப்பே signal கட் ஆயிரும், கண்டிப்பா வெளிய தான் வருவீங்க, you will go to the some balcony. Okay, it will happen, right? So you will be inside the room, you will call to your friend or your suddenly your HOD ma'am will call you. What you will do, you will come outside from the room, outside of the home, because it is very important call, you want to attend it and you want to talk with her properly, because inside the room, inside that hall, it is not going to be reach you very properly. This is we call this is the major part of your problem you are facing. Automatically நம்ம என்ன பண்ணுவோம், as a human will come out to the balcony or outside the home for important call, because many things going to be affect your signal strength, many things will be going to affect your signal. We call as interference, simply we call as a interference, right? So mobile radio propagation effect. So when a signal strength, the strength of the signal between the base station and mobile unit is strong enough to maintain a signal quality at the receiver. You are the receiver, as I told, when you are getting an important call, you want to be connect directly to the cell phone tower very without any interference. You will always go for the open space, right? So the strength of the signal between the base station and mobile unit strong enough to maintain a signal quality at the receiver. Not too strong to create co-channel interference. Must handle variance in noise. This will be happen. If not having the clear, it will reduce your noise and the quality of your voice will be automatically reduced. You want to improve the voice. So this is normally will happen. Okay. So fading, that is time variation of receiving the signal. Fading is we call as a time variation. sometimes your voice will be clear, sometimes you will be low, some will be high. Okay, like a jitter, we call it as a jitter, right? So that is not receiving the voice call in a normal way. So this is we call it as a fading. Signal fad ஆகுது. பேசிட்டு இருக்கப்பே டவுன் ஆயிடும் சிக்னல், திருப்பி பூஸ்ட் ஆகும், திருப்பி நல்லா இருக்கும். ஒழுங்கா கேட்கலையா, வெளியே வாங்க, come out and speak, come out speak அப்படி சொல்லுவீங்க. That is due to the fading. Okay, so time variation of receiving the signal. So this is caused by the changes in the transmission path. உன்னோட சிக்னல் ஒரு வேளை ரிசீவ் ஆயிட்டு இருக்கப்ப சடனா it will have some interference. For example, when you are receiving the signal, the door will be open. For example, your glass is through the glass, suddenly someone close the glass, something will be changed that substrates. Okay, so at the time your signal is faded, so at the time you will receiving the poor quality of signal, then you are need to move from that position to some other position. This is called as also fading. So caused by changes in the transmission path. Even if the signal strength is effective range, signal propagation effect may disturb the signal. Even you are having the effective range, signal propagation, light rays or some other any other frequency range, you are having the high traffic area, some noise will be produced. This also will be able to fad your signals. Okay, so these are the things of propagation. So design factors. So we are going to design these all the things should be considered in your mind when you are designing this thing. So one is propagation effect with interference and light waves. Anything we cannot affect. Not light means light signal won't affect the signal. Okay, due to that you are creating any other disturбance, reflection like that. Okay, you want to be considered in mind. So propagation effects, maximum transmit power level at BS and mobile units, typically height of mobile unit antenna. So typically height of your mobile unit antenna. Okay, எங்க உங்களோட மொபைல் போன்ல எங்க வந்து ஆண்டனா இருக்கு? You are all using the smartphone. Whether the antenna is there, smartphone antenna இருக்காப்பா? Having an antenna in your smartphone? Hello, anyone can answer ma? You are having an antenna in your smartphone?
Students can answer.
Yes, sir.
Where is it?
It is however inside the mobile instrument, sir. That is microstrip antenna.
Okay. So you all well know about that. Your cell phone, smartphone, always in the back side you're having the left side of your camera. உங்களோட smartphone எடுத்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா left side ல தான் கேமரா வரும். எல்லா போனுமே அந்த டிசைன்ல தான் வச்சிருக்காங்க. ரைட் சைடுல கேமரா இருக்கவே இருக்காது, ரொம்ப ஃபேரா தான் இருக்கும். because இந்த ரைட் கார்னர் டாப் you are having the antennas. ரைட் கார்னர்ல டாப்ல தான் உங்களோட chip side antenna will be there. That's why the smartphone designing they'll always go for the left side of camera or center camera. So right topmost corner is allocated for the small chip antenna of your smartphone. So that's why, so your mobile unit antenna should be also in the height. So that is they are mentioning. Okay, so available height of the base station antenna. So when you are increasing the height of your cell phone tower, சின்ன ஷார்ட் na adukku ஏத்த மாதிரி range cover. இப்ப cities la urban area la பாத்தீங்கன்னா buildings மேலே வச்சிருவாங்க. You can see it will be in a small building, it will covering that particular street at the half kilometers அவ்வளவுதான். Another or building they will get it and put the cell phone tower, another building that will go on. But in a rural area you can see they won't go for the buildings, they will go for the separate place. Normally you do garden mar irukum, they will get a big space and the height of the antenna will be very high because they are going to inside the macro cell. It is going to cover around 6 kilometers, around 6 kilometers to 5 kilometers or 3 kilometers they will fix it. So that is available of the base station antenna. So that should be considered here. These factors determine size of individual cell. Also consider use model based empirical data. Then you are going to choosing the area without more interference. That is very best. So அவங்க ஒரு செல்போன் டிசைன் ஒரு RF engineer-ஓட வேலை தான் இது. They will do it, they will first search the place which is good and which will cover all the entire village. According to the place they will fix it, they will put the cell phone tower. So that should be considered in the design factor, all the things. See here, so multipath propagation, when you are traveling, when you are getting the signal Three important propagation mechanism. What will happen? One is reflection, scattering, diffraction. Reflection, you know very well, this is we call as a reflection. See, you are getting the signal from the reflected, like a mirror, like a building, like a scatter, lightning, something, a lightning material. You will get it, it's a reflected for the signal. What about scattering? Scattering is you are putting in a lamppost and getting to the some other straight point. This is we call as a scattering of information. Diffraction is you are getting to some point of your building and it is going to be splitted to somewhere. So these all will happen in the multipath propagation. Reflection, scattering, diffraction. So I want to consider all the factor when you're going for designing a signal. So multipath propagation is also applicable. So this actually effects of multipath propagation, what happened? So normal transmitted pulse will be like this, it's proportional to the time, but when you are receiving the pulse like this, due to this reflection, this, so received LOS pulse, suddenly it will be reduced, increasing, suddenly reduced. So this is what happened in the multipath propagation. So also the types of fading, one is fast fading, rapid changes in the string over half wave distance. Example 9000 mHz wavelength is 0.1 second to it is around 2 to 30 decibit. So it will be changed. Okay, fast fading. Slow fading is slower changes due to user passing different height buildings, gaps in the buildings, gaps in the street. This will be happen the slow fading. Over long distance and the fast fading, this will be happen. Flat fading is affect all frequency in same proportion. Flat fading or almost it is not going to be ups and downs. Selective fading, different frequency components are affected differently. So these are the types of fadings. Okay, fast fading, slow fading, flat fading, selective fading. So final the summary what we have discussed today is, so principle of wireless cellular communication, we have discussed about 1G, 2G, 3G, 4G up to 5G we have discussed, and the operation of wireless cellular communication we have discussed, the base station, mobile station, BTS, MSC things, and generations we have discussed, and how the channel is alignment, and what are the mobile propagation model, fading, everything we have discussed. So these are the major points of your cellular communication. Okay, good. Ma'am.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Solunga ma'am. I finished this topic.
Okay.
Go with that, or I will go for question answer.
Thanks for the wonderful session, sir.
Thank
It
you,
was
ma'am.
very informative and insightful.
Wait, ma. Sir, if you have time means you can. Otherwise, no problem, sir.
No, illa ma'am. Enough, ma'am.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Thanks for the wonderful session, sir. It was very informative and insightful. This will be very useful for our future. Now we have come to question and answer session. Many participants are posting their queries in chat box. Pragatha will take the question and answer session. Over to you, Pragatha.
Okay.
Thank you, Anita. Sir, we have some queries from our participants, and the first question is, why channel allocation is important in cellular system?
Why? Okay, இல்ல questions இல்ல இங்க எங்க இருந்து ஸ்டார்ட் பண்றீங்க? ஃபர்ஸ்ட் क्वेश्चन அது கேட்டதுலயா இல்ல லாஸ்ட் क्वेश्चनா? லாஸ்ட்ல இருந்து கேக்குறீங்க, ஃபர்ஸ்ட் இருந்து வாங்க. I will read it Lavanya, right? I think first question is asked by Abhinaya, right? I will start from here. Do we need special equipment to connect WiMAX network? Yes, because the WiMAX is having higher capacity than the normal Wi-Fi, right? Wi-Fi you have no variable, it's a smaller unit. It is the range of around inside your home, almost your home size, around 600 to 700 meters it will be okay, but more than that it is going to be connected. So for improving the capacity of speed and a range of coverage, I need to go for the special equipment in WiMAX. Another thing, in Wi-Fi you will install only one device in your for example in your college, first floor having one Wi-Fi, second floor having Wi-Fi, third floor having Wi-Fi. Okay, So you can move from several Wi-Fi. So every time your device is moving from one Wi-Fi to another Wi-Fi, it will be configured and attacked to, connected to that. Again, if you are moving, it will go into another connected. So that like that it is going on. But in WiMAX, for entire college, one WiMAX is enough. For example, around your acres, right? 1 acre or 2 acres like that. So that around 50 acres maybe. So up to that, you can give a one WiMAX. So that will connect major area of your part. Okay. So this is the first question asked by Abhinaya. Next question is why we do frequency reuse by Afrin Fatima. Abhinaya, unga question okay answer?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you. Next one is Afrin Fatima. Why do we frequency reuse, right? Yes, we need it, right? Because we are wasting, right? We are wasting of memory. Only if example சொல்றேன். When you are working in a cell phone tower, okay, in night work பண்றீங்க, at the time number of users will be very less. Number of users will be less. Actually, my channel capacity will use around the all the hexagonal 7 space me use பண்ற மாதிரி இருக்கும். But at the night time, I don't need, right? Because the number of users will be limited. You know, you can feel it, right? If in a day busy hour 9 to 12 p.m. if you are using a you are browsing your smartphone, when you are using from night 10 to 12 or after the 12, if you are using the browsing with your there is a small very major difference. எப்படி இருக்குன்னா high speed ஆ இருக்கும். அந்த டைத்துல என்ன ஆச்சுன்னா எல்லா frequency நான் உங்களுக்கு allocate பண்ணிட்டேன். Because that frequency will be allocated to you only. In day they are using 50,000 user means in night they will use below 10,000 users. So why I want to waste this 40,000 users frequency in night time? So that frequency will be allocated to you for this 10,000 users. So that may help me for more frequency. This is what happened. This is we call as a bandwidth adjustment. So this is normally in the networks and also in the cell phone. So this is we call as a frequency reuse. So instead of wasting, I'll use it for the below persons. Afrin, okay va?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Another question also she asked, do we have carrier in wireless communication in future generations, sir? Yes, we are having the carrier in cognitive networks. We are installing these carriers in the cognitive networks. Upcoming 5G also we are using these carrier networks. So by which the channel will be allocated for more users. Okay, that's why from the CDMA code division multiple access, these are going to be improved with the upcoming cognitive networks also using and 5G also using this. Okay, what are the scopes we having? Yeah, we are having lot of scopes, ma. Example is 5G Internet of Things. We are having a lot of scopes for channel reallocation. ஏன்னா ஒண்ணு இல்ல சிம்பிளா சொன்னா we call it as a green computing. Energy waste பண்ணாம இருக்கிறதுக்கு பேரு தான் green computing. Okay, nowadays energy we are using a lot of energy, right? The energy waste பண்ணாம save பண்ணி less consumption பண்ணாவே we call it as a good. That is the proverb is the wasting of energy waste பண்றத save பண்ணாவே produce பண்றதுக்கு equal. Okay, நம்ம சொல்றோம்ல please switch off the lights and fans when you are not in the use. That is, we are not wasting, that means generating the power. Instead of generating, we are consuming. So this is the concept. We are going for the green computing in the future. Okay, then another one, how wireless help us in the pandemic challenges faced. Vincia settle. Afrin, நம்ம மூணு क्वेश्चन ஆன்சர் பண்ணிட்டேன்னு நினைக்கிறேன். ஓகேவா?
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Very useful to us.
Dimple Vincia. Okay, how wireless helps in pandemic, right? Good question. I hope everyone using the app Arogya Setu. Vincia,
sir.
Arogya Setu app கேள்விப்பட்டீங்களா? Okay, right, good. What என்ன பண்ணுது அது? Arogya Setu app சும்மா இன்ஸ்டால் பண்ணிக்கங்கன்னு சொன்னாங்க. ஆனா ஆக்சுவலா அதோட யூஸ் என்ன? Have you all know about that? See, for using the Arogya Setu app, you want to use both Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. This having you want GPS and Bluetooth. Okay, it asks you to enable GPS and Bluetooth. It will scan the range. One illa If anyone is feeding the information that he or she is infected, within the 500 meters, how many members are using? Within the 1 kilometer, how many members are infected? Within the 5 kilometers, how many members are infected? For this, we are using the GPS. This will identify the information. Actually, we are not following it properly. Actually, it's a good technology. Not only in India we're using Arogya Setu. Singapore, they are using the government app, and use everything. They are having a smart app. That is going to help. If anyone infected person is there, that range will be identified, and they are giving the information to that. And why we are using to add the Bluetooth is, Bluetooth is a nearby wireless device, so it is going to communicate with a nearby device. When an infected person is that person also using Arogya Setu, you are also using Arogya Setu. When the infected person is coming near to, it will inform the information to the particular person. He is infected. He is infected already. He is infected means you will be alert. You will be safe. So this is the design of Arogya Setu app, but we are not using it properly. That is the reason. So actually this Arogya Setu app and wearable computing, smart watches, these are all helping for this pandemic fully. Okay. And patient monitoring system, ஹாஸ்பிட்டல்ல பேஷண்ட் இப்போ அவங்களோட ஹார்ட் பீட் எனக்கு தெரியாது, ஹார்ட் பீட் அவங்க பார்த்துட்டே இருப்பாங்க. ஹார்ட் பீட் அவங்க குறைக்குது, ஆக்சிஜன் லெவல் குறையுதுன்னா OSPF குறையுதுன்னா ஆட்டோமேட்டிக்கா it will inform to the nearby attender his oxygen is reducing. I cannot monitor, but this sensor and wireless device will monitor and give the information to the nearby attender. He will manage to that his oxygen level is reducing, you please go and attend. It will alert you. So patient monitoring system la in the pandemic la ரொம்ப ஹெல்ப் பண்ணுது. Okay, is enough? Vincia, okay va?
Dimple.
Dimple Vincia is there? Okay. Next, Afreen Fatima, நிறைய question கேட்டீங்க. How do we allocate a channel, sir? அது சொல்லியாச்சு, நீங்க ஸ்டார்டிங்ல கேட்டீங்க, அதுக்கப்புறம் தான் channel allocation சொன்னேன். Okay. Abhinaya, why we require allocating of channels in networking? Good. Why we require allocation of channels in networking? Actually, your mobile or wireless is a branch of networking. Am I right? Without networking, we cannot go, because we are improving from the normal networking. Actually, the 7 layer is followed in your wireless also. For fixed network wireless, there is no difference. The 7 layer is using, what are the 7 layers? Physical layer, data link layer, network layer, transport layer, session layer, presentation layer, application layer. All the 7 layers is applicable for your wireless technology also. Okay, here what I am changing is, I am changing the medium. They are using a wired medium, IEEE 802.3 Ethernet communication using a Wi-Fi or wired. Here I am going for IEEE 802.11 wireless. It may be a Bluetooth, it may be a Wi-Fi, it may be a infrared, it may be anything. Only the physical medium is going to change, but the data transmission, what you are communicating, everything will be using. So we are going to allocate the channel, both also requiring the networking concept. Okay, Abhinay, okay va?
Yes, sir. It is clear, sir.
Okay. Then Vinitha, why is channel allocation important in cellular system? That is, I have explained. So now you understand. So channel allocation கண்டிப்பா இருக்கணும். இல்ல அப்படின்னா what happen? யார் எங்க இருக்காங்கன்னு தெரியாது. Where I am using without if any interference, I cannot use effectively of your device. Okay, ma.
Thank you, sir, for answering all the questions patiently.
Thank you.
Over to you, Anita.
I think it's your vice principal, sir, Nalini Joseph.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. I have given a message, sir. That's really
Okay.
nice, sir. Your
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
with a good clarity with the.
Okay, thank you.
It was very nice,
Thanking
sir.
a person.
Hope I am audible. Sir, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, it was very nice, sir. You the good clarity with the communication, and the seminar was so interesting. And
Yes,
I
ma'am.
hope
Yes.
all our faculty and students would have been benefited out of your.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thanking a person for the work done for us is the greatest compliment we can ever give. Vote of thanks by Mr. Dinesh. Over to you, Dinesh.
Thank you, Anita. Good evening, everyone. As all good things come to an end in life, so is the webinar. The respected and most distinguished chief guest, respected principal, our beloved HOD, our honorable professors, and my dear friends, I deemed it a great honor and privilege to propose a vote of thanks to those who have directly and indirectly contributed to this webinar on wireless communication organized by our department. First of all, I would like to thank our chief guest and resource person, Mr. Riyasuddin. We are really enlightened by your knowledge and presence. Thank you so much, sir, for your in-depth knowledge on cellular concept where we gained knowledge of the background working of a mobile, which we use in our daily life. Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your knowledge with us. And I would like to thank our respected principal, Dr. Sujata Anand. Thank you, ma'am, for giving us this opportunity to bring out our talent. I would like to express my sincere gratitude to our beloved HOD, Dr. Nalini Joseph, for her support and guidance. My sincere thanks to all our faculties, members, and student coordinates for their involvement and willingness, which made this webinar a grand success. And I extend a special thanks to our coordinators, Ms. Uma Mageshwari, Ms. Indumadi, Ms. Stefina, for their proper guidance and supporting in all setup in the webinar. I congratulate all the participants for their active participation in this event. I extend my big thanks to our department. Once again, thanks to everyone who are all gathered here and made this event a successful one. Thanks a lot. Over to you, Anita.
Thank you, Dinesh. Coming together is a beginning. Keeping together is progress. Working together is success. My hearty thanks to everyone for the great success of event. Dear participants, the feedback link has been posted in the chat box. Do fill it and you will receive your certificate within 2-3 days. Thank you.
Really, thank you, sir. Yasuddin, sir. Your this seminar is very, very highly interesting. Instead of taking this mobile MAC protocols and thing, the way you deal with the cellular networks is very nice. So it's there in the syllabus also. So suddenly we thought, okay, we'll ask sir to take the cellular networks. Okay. So now the cellular communication would have reached the minds of the students very easily, and I will get the real feedback from them. And it was a very interesting session. So we are very, very happy for accepting our invitation and sparing your time. Okay, it's more than 1 hour you have taken the seminar. So it's a power-packed performance, sir. Thanks a lot. Our heartfelt thanks from my team. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
We'll be in touch with you, sir. Whenever we need it, we will be contacting you. You can spare your time with your things. When you conduct workshop also, you send us invitation to us. We'll ask the faculty as well as students to attend any workshops, seminars organized by Anna University.
Okay.
So definitely
Before, actually, we are not doing now. Before 1 year, I have conducted Python for data science. We have conducted.
Okay, sir.
So anything, I will contact you. And especially, I am doing the autonomous vehicle. If any one of your students are interested to learn about the autonomous vehicle UAVs, you can come to our department. We will support you for doing the project or thing. Okay, if anyone needing a project guidance also, we will provide you.